Welcome back, everybody. This is Modern with Randy. I am Randy. Today, I thought I'd go over a deck that I did not too long ago, the Mardu um, heroic deck. I thought I'd show off what it has become and what is going on with it now. Obviously, Thunder Junction just came out. People are still trying to get their cards. People are still trying to do things, but as to no one's surprise, the Slickshot show off has definitely already put up numbers, has definitely already been doing well in leagues, has definitely just kind of put aggro back on the map for Pioneer. Definitely something you're going to see walking into any of your RCQs and you might be going to next weekend, this weekend, whatever you are doing. But yeah, so Mardu Heroic, just to go back over this deck kind of quickly, the whole concept is you play the heroic cards that have, whenever you cast a spell that targets them, something happens. So you play heroic, our favorite hoplite, not heroic hoplite, favorite hoplite. So when it gets targeted, it gets +1/+1 and a counter on it, and you prevent all damage. You're also playing Illuminator Virtuoso, which has double strike 1/1, and then it has whenever it becomes targeted with a spell, it connives. So you get to draw a card, then discard a card. If you discard a non-land card, it gets +1 counter. We have 10th District's Legionnaire, which has a 2/2 with haste, and whenever you cast a spell that targets it, it gets a +1/+1 counter and scry. And then of course we're also playing Monstrous Swiftsteer, haste, and prowess. And now we are playing Slickshot Show Off as well, because it's just an amazing card. So the biggest problem you'll find with Heroic as a whole is that you need to always be able to protect your spells. So you don't want to be running out, like, you get this weird standoff where you don't want to run out your creatures without having some kind of protection spell up. Slickshot gives you the benefit there with the new plot mechanic, so you can pay one generic and a red to plot it, so this card gets exiled. It gets exiled from your hand, then you can cast it as a sorcery on a later turn. So next turn you can cast it as a sorcery like you would during your main phase, but it has haste, so you don't care that it's going to be cast, on turn 3 instead of turn 2. This gives you a tremendous upside because you can now cast this card for free essentially on turn 3 while still holding up, Lorne's Escapes, God Willing, Shajiri Shelter, or anything that you need to like pump it or anything like that. Like, it gives you this extra advantage of being able to put it off to the side and cast it a later turn when you have all your mana available to protect it. So obviously we're playing a bunch of pump spells to go along with this. We play, Ancestral Anger, which gives it trample. Gives it trample, gives it +X on a turn where X is 1 plus the number of cards named Ancestral Anger in your graveyard, and you draw a card. Monstrous Rage, another great one, gives it +2/+0 until end of turn, and it also gets a monster token attached to it, which is a +1/+1 token that gives it trample. Same thing, and then we also have Homestead Courage, which is our flashback one. It's a sorcery, but it gives our creatures vigilance as well as a counter, and it has a flashback ability. Defiant Strike, which lets you get +1/+1 and then draw a card. And then our protection spells, Lorne's Escape gives a creature hexproof and destructible, +3 scry 1. God's Willing, which gives a protection from the color until end of turn, scry 1. And then Shajiri Shelter, which just gains protection from the color until end of turn. It also acts as another land, so we were playing 19 lands. We got, our removal here is Reckless Rage, deals 4 damage to a creature you don't control as well as 2 damage to a creature you do control. So basically, every creature that you would target, it doesn't matter besides Slickshot Show Off because it doesn't get that pump to its toughness. So, and then the reason why we're playing black is our Claim to Fame. Basically, so we can have 1 black to return a creature card from our graveyard to give it to the battlefield, and then we have the Fame, the Aftermath card, gives it +2 and gains haste until end of turn. But claiming back Slickshot is just another just immediate source of just damage out of nowhere. This deck is already starting to put up numbers, as well as Slickshot's putting up a bunch of different numbers in the mono red decks that are showing up. We have mono red burn, we have Boros aggro coming up, we have Gruul coming up. The Gruul aggro list is coming up. We also have Wizard, like mono red wizards, because for some reason Slickshot is also a bird wizard, so now we have another great wizard to go along with our Wizard's Lightning here in Pioneer. Basically expect to see Slickshot coming up in any of the tournaments you're going to. People are going to gravitate towards these decks. They're super cheap. I mean, honestly, if you take away the mana conflicts in this deck and the Slickshot show-offs, like, this deck is so dirt cheap for majority of players who already have a land base. Like, the land base and Slickshot is the only thing that makes this deck remotely expensive by any means. But I kind of just want to do a quick video today about how Slickshot is basically showing up everywhere. If you are not prepared for it, you need to be. You need to be running fatal pushes. You need to be running shocks. You need to be running anything that deals 2 damage or deals with an X2 current mana cost or power 2 toughness creature. Like, this card is everywhere. It is going to be showing up in your RCQs. He is the hot new flavor of the week, so you are going to see him no matter what you are playing, where you're playing. Unless you're going to an RC with like 3 people and they're both those people are your friends, like, Slickshot's gonna show up. He's gonna be putting up numbers. He's definitely has just started to take off. He's already showcasing in Modern as well. Basically, everyone knew this card was gonna be good. No one thought this card was gonna be bad, but I think he is just showcasing off or showing off basically more than people already expected to. I just kind of want to give a quick update on the deck I already did a deck tech about. But this is basically what you want to be doing now if you're going to be playing this heroic deck, is you want to add Slickshot. He's just a perfect creature. He's what this deck has wanted. Basically, to make room for this guy, we had cut the 2 10th District Legionnaires. We were playing 4, so now we're down to 2. We cut one of the Homestead Courages, so we went from 3 to 2, and we cut our second Sajiri Shelter. We're playing 2, now we're down to 1. So just, some very minor cuts that don't matter, right? Like, we cut 2 10th District Legionnaire, which is basically, Slickshot is what 10th District Legionnaire has dreamed of being ever since it was printed, and it will never get nearly as good as that. Slickshot is just able to go off, and basically you can win just so incredibly quickly with this card, and not to mention with our claim to fame that we have, just being able to buy that back late game after your opponent maybe has taken some damage, killed off Slickshot, dealt with the other creatures, and then just top decking claim being able to go get claim, get Slickshot back, already has haste. Now you have however much mana left, how many other pump spells left, and you're just gonna kill them off in one shot without trying. But this is the newer updated version of Mardu Heroic. Like I said, watch out for Slickshot show off. He's going to be showing up in your RCQs for sure. He's showcasing in like 4 or 5 different decks right now, as well as Modern. He is the newest hotness. He is what you're going to see. Be prepared for him. Make sure you have a game plan for these aggro decks, because they are coming back. So just be on the lookout, guys. As always, this is Randy with Modern with Randy. Even though I've been doing a lot of Pioneer, basically just covering the RCQs, getting people ready for RCQ season. If you like what I do, if you like the channel, if you want to support me in any way, shape, or form, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of this. I basically do a bunch of deck techs. I do some videos every now and then of like leagues I run through, and I just go through a lot of the decks that you're going to be seeing, anything that's been popping up that's crazy or new or inventive, and I like to go over and just kind of showcase it. But I will see you guys next time.